Hollywood. The name itself is legendary, but how did it become the film capital of the world? Was it luck, or was it destiny? The story of Hollywood's rise begins in the silent era, where pioneers built an empire of dreams, and lawsuits, scandals, and genius shaped an industry forever. From the birth of moving pictures to the creation of a global empire, this is the untold story of how Hollywood conquered the world. But behind the glamour, there were struggles, financial collapses, legal battles, and fierce competition. This is the untold journey of how Hollywood fought to establish itself and became the beacon of storytelling and cinematic artistry that we know today. Before Hollywood, before the glitz, before the Oscars, movies were a science experiment. The late 1800s saw inventors racing to capture movement on film. Thomas Edison and his team created the kinetoscope, a peep show-style device that let one person watch short moving pictures. But Edison wanted control. He formed the Motion Picture Patents Company, or the Edison Trust, and this would lead to a cinematic rebellion. Meanwhile in France, the Lumiere brothers were capturing everyday life with their cinematographe, a device that could both record and project films. Their short films, such as Arrival of a Train at La Ciotat Station, amazed audiences and laid the foundation for storytelling through cinema. Other pioneers like Georges Méliès saw cinema's potential for fantasy and special effects, creating legendary films such as A Trip to the Moon. Back in the early 1900s, movies weren't made in California. They were made in New York and New Jersey, but the Edison Trust controlled everything: cameras, film stock, distribution. Independent filmmakers had two choices: pay up or get sued. So they ran. And where did they go? To a quiet little village in California called Hollywood. Why? Sunlight. Lots of it. Perfect for filming year-round. And, bonus, it was far away from Edison's lawyers. It wasn't just the climate that made Hollywood appealing. Land was cheap, labor was plentiful, and the growing city of Los Angeles provided a perfect urban backdrop for stories set in different time periods and locations. By 1910, word had spread. Hollywood was the new frontier for movie making. Soon, independent filmmakers, hungry for creative freedom, set up shop and began producing films outside the constraints of Edison's monopoly. The first Hollywood movie? A short film called In Old California by D.W. Griffith in 1910. Studios quickly followed: Universal, Paramount, Warner Brothers. They weren't just making films, they were creating an industry. The rise of narrative filmmaking saw directors experimenting with editing techniques, camera movements, and special effects. Films grew longer, more complex, and more ambitious. By the early 1910s, Hollywood was transforming into a true cinematic hub. Filmmakers established production houses, developing techniques like close-ups and parallel editing. In just a few short years, Hollywood was producing films that captivated audiences worldwide. The 1920s, Hollywood's first golden age. The world met silent film icons: Charlie Chaplin, the master of comedy; Buster Keaton, the fearless stunt genius; Rudolph Valentino, the ultimate heartthrob. Hollywood wasn't just a place, it was magic. But behind the scenes, Hollywood's power struggles were just beginning. Silent films became an art form of their own, with dramatic lighting, expressive acting, and innovative storytelling. Directors like F.W. Murnau and Fritz Lang pushed the boundaries of visual storytelling, creating some of the most influential films of the silent era. Meanwhile, Hollywood saw its first major stars emerge: Gloria Swanson, Clara Bow, and Greta Garbo, turning actors into household names. By the mid-1920s, 5 studios ruled Hollywood: the Paramount Pictures, the Warner Brothers, the MGM, the RKO, and the Fox Studios. They owned everything: actors, directors, theaters. Stars were under ironclad contracts. You were either in or out. The studio system created an assembly line approach to filmmaking, where stars were carefully groomed and movies were produced with machine-like precision. It was an era of glamour, but also of rigid control. Behind the closed doors of Hollywood, studios manufactured stars. They controlled their public images, dictated their personal lives, and ensured that every aspect of their careers was carefully managed. While this system created an aura of prestige, it also led to scandals and power struggles within the industry. 1927, The Jazz Singer, the first talkie. The moment Al Jolson spoke, "Wait a minute, you ain't heard nothing yet," it was over for silent films. Within a few years, silent cinema faded into history, taking some stars with it. Some actors, like Charlie Chaplin, resisted the transition to sound, while others, like Greta Garbo, made a successful leap into the talkie era. The industry had changed forever. The arrival of sound meant new opportunities and new challenges. Studios had to rework their filmmaking techniques, actors had to adjust to speaking roles, and silent film directors had to adapt or fade away. It was the dawn of a new era, and Hollywood was about to enter one of its most transformative periods. From a dusty California town to the center of the entertainment world, Hollywood's journey was built on risk, rebellion, and reinvention. Silent films may have faded, but their influence lives on in modern cinema. The visual storytelling techniques pioneered in the silent era still shape films today. And even today, Hollywood is still writing its next chapter. From the flickering lights of the silent film era to the dazzling spectacle of modern blockbusters, Hollywood's evolution is a story of visionaries, pioneers, and dreamers who dared to believe in the power of cinema. If you loved this journey through early Hollywood, hit that like button and subscribe for more cinematic deep dives. What's your favorite film? Let us know in the comments.